Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. It's our first Turtlecast since we know what the December update is. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will be able to answer unless you want to ask anything about the story. I will not be answering those in here. I do not want to mix a story with overall content. I did the live stream covering the main storyline, so you can check it out if you are interested in the story. Everything else, feel free to ask if you're curious. I enjoyed the update a lot so far. It's really fun. There are, of course, new bugs. If you want to ask about that, I will straight away answer that. There are new bugs. Hopefully, they will be fixed. There's one very, very positive one, but in the same time, I learned one thing. Too much good stuff, it's bad. And why am I saying that? There is a huge bug related to weapon damage that basically caused my weapons to do like 5 to 10 times more damage than intended. Which in result basically gives me like a god mode. All enemies die as soon as I open fire, including bosses. And that takes, I need to say that takes away some fun from the combat. Like knowing that enemy will not be able to do absolutely anything and the threat level is 100%, 0% threat, and it will die instantly without any effort, and it will do absolutely nothing to you, so you don't need to worry. That takes away some fun. I need to say, too much buffs. This time that's not intended, of course. It's due to a bug, but too much good stuff is a bad stuff. There is such a concept, now I know. Existing stat locking bug is still there, yes. It's still there. They're attempting to fix some of the bugs related to life giver and health bar. And one cool thing that they did is that the game will remember your level of rats, which helps both ghouls and humans. Like if you log out and log back in, you will log back in with exact the same percentage of rats as you had before. It will not be changing. Only on death it will change. Yes, we know what's happening to Milepost Zero. It's being retired. The very badly maintained roads cause Caravan to move out and stop operating, but the vendors themselves and all the rewards will be available in new player hub in map expansion. You will be buying them with gold bullion or caps through multiple vendors. And for people that did caravans before, I think there is like 2k gold bullion compensation. Still, I don't know, I was saving those 1000 supplies and it doesn't feel good that I will not be able to use them anymore. Supplies no longer will be the thing, so yeah. You will say goodbye to the caravan system. So always say, yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Everything is a feature in Fallout 76. And I didn't update title on the Twitch. My bad. I'm fixing that right now. It's a Turtlecast. It's not the public test server testing. There you go. And before I'll be talking more, there's probably already a lot of questions on our Discord as the Turtle section. So let's start from the Discord. And then I will be back with the chat. And there was a little bit of an update to the patch notes for the public test server, so we can open those in a moment. Some update to the patch, so that was not in the original patch notes that I covered in the video. There's a couple additional changes that they mentioned. Okay, let me find when I stopped. All right, where was it? Let me find it. I think that's the one. All right, switching the camera. There we go. A long one. Hey Angry Turtle, love your work so much, so you are the only streamer I follow for Fallout 76. After a lot of my own testing, on top of your wealth of testing I have found for me, the best VAT sniper build right now is your previous build you posted on 2025-06-13, half a year ago, where you used the black powder rifle to devastating effect. I made a bunch of perk changes, but most notable would be dropping Scatter Shot and replacing Tormentor for Tank Killer, as well as using Adrenaline for 10 stacks of 100% bonus damage at full stack. I also use full concentrated fire on top of awareness as it adds damage, still using the black powder rifle for anything I can't one hit for with my daily driver. Keep in mind about concentrated fire, it adds damage with consecutive hits, so if you are one-shotting your enemies, concentrated fire is doing nothing for you. Just a side note. Maybe you already know that, I'm just mentioning that here. Still using the black powder, I read that. I can get from 10 to 15k damage for headshots. However, the big reason I wanted to message here is the daily driver should be the lower action rifle. It has the same distance and higher practical damage, DPS, than the hunting rifle when used with Furious, as you have it set up on that VAT sniper build I mentioned earlier. Difference being, in fire rate, makes it so much easier for a double tap only for level 100 super mutants before reaching full stack of adrenaline, and then everything should be a single hit. Yeah, I agree that this is a very good weapon. I tend to use this weapon when I need to farm ammo for Elder's Mark, as that's using 45s. So that's a really good weapon. All snipers are really good. Hunting rifle, as I was showcasing, because it's a typical sniper with super high damage. But yeah, this is really good. I'm not saying this is bad. I never said that in my videos. This is a really good weapon. Headshots, almost 3k. Yeah, that's solid damage. And assuming you have 30 stack of Furious, which you should almost always have, since you only need one shot to kill anything in game below or including level 100 super mutants, best part is the reload speed is so fast with that build, you don't need to worry about reloading at all. Just fire away and let the gun reload between shots before the fire rate will allow you to shoot the next bullet you already have at least 2 loaded and ready to go. Anyway, I was surprised in your testing you haven't given the lower action rifle more love. Those damage numbers are with only special legendary cards. Maybe I will review this weapon again at some point. It is a weapon that I am using on Sniper from time to time, so I do know it. And it is good, I agree. Next one, hey Turtle. I'm using a prime lower action to farm Ultra Sight. Oh, that's same as I'm using it. For my Elder's Mark, I have it set up as a sniper. I'm using a stealth Ghoul Mando build. What first star should I use? Furious if you have reverse onslaught. I'm thinking Stuka or Mutant. So what is better? A 100% increase in sneak damage or the flat 50? The sneak damage is cool, but you cannot always use it. That's the reason I tend not to opt in for this one. If stealth for whatever reason fail, this is gone. So this part of the sneak attack, 100%, it's really good, but only if you can maintain stealth always. Mutants, you say, I don't know why not Furious. Maybe you are not running Onslaught. So yeah, Mutants is very universal. Since they buff it to 50%, I would say Mutants is very universal. It's a solid boost that's always there. Conditions are only to have those mutations, and it's so easy to have those mutations. Therefore, it's solid. I like Mutants. I have several weapons with Mutants on it, just because of versatility. And there are other effects that can give you a little bit more, like Juggernauts if you have very high health on Gould, but it will not be who knows how much more. It will be around 60-70%. If your goal is very high endurance, so can be a little bit more, but then again, not so universal. And someone recommending Stuka. What's the current go-to armor for ghouls post-patch? Is it still Thorn? Yeah, Thorn is the best if you are melee, that absolute number one. But as well, the Brotherhood armor, if you don't care as much about radiation resistance, as mostly people opt for getting glow from toxic goo, so radiation resistance then do not matter, then boss armor. Boss armor is very good. If not Torn, then boss armor. The reason for boss armor and not Secret Service, there is a good reason. Like not just because of resistances. Resistances doesn't really matter in this case. The reason is boss armor does have strengthened mode for your limbs. And in case of ghoul, it's extremely important as you are not using stimpaks, you are using toxic goo. Toxic goo is not healing your limbs. Therefore, you need to make them immune to any damage. Putting strengthened on your all limbs with combining that with adamantium skeleton makes you immune to limb damage, and you can run toxic goo exclusively without even carrying any stimpaks, which is important in my opinion. That's why boss armor or Torn, one of those two depending on your build. Like the Western Spirit and Reverse Onslaught for this. Yeah, I was talking in the past about Western Spirit. Works great for farming ammo. Greetings, Angry Turtle. Thank you so much for content to keep us current with the frequent changes in Fallout 76. I've got a question and a sentiment to share with you, since you are a true build scientist. I feel there have been excessive losses to build metas, and please hear me out. I understand there are weapon buffs that are in place now that did not exist. I will list metas that are no longer functional to me, and the reason for once that explanation will help. Sneak builds outside of Chinese stealth armor feel like they have been strongly debuffed. We used to sneak in Secret Service or any armor without shadowed or covered scout bonuses. Chameleon and Weightless were legitimately able to avoid detection in heavy mobs consistently, in daily ops, in close quarters, boss fights, and still can put recognizably less effectively. You will not be sneaking in anything but Chinese stealth at any non-boss event. This goes for sneak melee. Yeah, sneak melee is hard to achieve. I agree. And sneak was never super consistent. It's still good. Like Chinese stealth armor excels at stealth and it's available, but unyielding, it's much harder to sneak just with unyielding Secret Service. Explosive builds, namely two-shot grenade launcher, requires more ammo, it's less effective than used to be. Oh, that's because of the bag. Two-shot explosive bag. Switch two-shot to blooded, and I have a launcher build ready. I supposed to publish it, but it's slightly delayed because new content dropped. But I have a launcher build ready, so you will see they perform great. Launchers absolutely destroy. Rocket launchers, mini nukes, a broadside, unfortunately not the event one because of two-shot bug. So regular broadside, grenade launcher, the single shot one is amazing. So I disagree with that, I mean partially. I agree that two-shot, because of the bug, is terrible now on explosive launchers. So Nuka launcher, Nuka grenade launcher is gone for now. But generally launchers are not out. Cripple builds feel flimsy. This not. Quad limb damage Tesla, oh Tesla is energy, that's why. The amount of cripple perks needed to be effective has been amplified. I'm not going to fill your question section with the whole list. Is there more? I'm trying to share that if you look at the game 2019-20 to now, shotguns, automatic melee, Reaper meta, etc., the list goes on and on. The meta is changing, that I agree, but crippling? No, crippling was never more meta than today. You just need a ballistic weapons for that. Or plasma. If not ballistic, then plasma, but it must be high ballistic damage in it. And oh, there is a question. What do we kill bosses with besides meat-eating, melee builds, and heavy weapons? I used to solo air with a host of weapons, including the plasma caster, in pretty rapid order. What is left for the endgame boss like air? Oh, the plasma caster can still do about as good as it was in the past, so that didn't change. Are excessive glass cannon builds a thing? Kind of, but they still they mostly rely on Furious and Nerd Rage. Therefore, glass cannon builds are not really blooded prefix on the weapon, but it's still Furious, regardless if you glass cannon on full health. Just the Nerd Rage is the one card that makes difference, so there is way less difference than in the past, but it exists. Now, to the point, a lot of weapons can kill bosses. I have a video showcasing top 3 if you're interested, but generally, a lot of weapons do really good on bosses. The selection was never wider than today. The top weapons, of course, they always top weapons, so they exist. Like, for example, heavy gun Gauss Mini. They do exist, but Elder's Mark, that's not a heavy gun, do absolutely awesome, and it's top weapon for bosses too. There's a lot of weapons that can deal very high damage to bosses. So that was, with this one I disagree. It was never a higher selection of weapons that can be used on bosses than today. They made all weapons basically closer together than in the past. In the past, the meta was even more distinct. Like if you compare Auto Axe, when it was super overpowered, nothing else was able to do even 1/10 of the Auto Axe damage. So that was the difference in the past. Now, the top meta Gauss minigun versus some more off meta weapon, like let's say automatic commando weapon, not Elder's Mark, but any regular like the Fixer or assault rifle or so on, it will be doing about 50% less DPS, 50-60% less DPS than a top one. So it's not as huge of a difference. Is Dilsila additive or multiplicative? I think is additive, unfortunately. They made about everything additive with exception of follow through, taking one for the team, the legendary perks. Hello Turtle, I've been playing around with a new character building a sniper. I pick up my Brotherhood Recon rifle and the damage says it does over the 400s. Do you know if this is a bug or is it correct? It is correct. The weapon was buffed, so Brotherhood Recon, the variation of the hunting rifle from Brotherhood, was buffed and is indeed doing higher damage. Unfortunately, cannot be made a legendary, which still puts it on the second place comparing to hunting rifle, just because you cannot make it legendary. Next one. Hi, Mr. T. Thanks for your content. Excited for December. My question is, does Adrenal Reaction Mutation stack with Adrenaline per card as they both provide damage boost on killstreak? Yes, it does. So your total damage boost, assuming you are on a team, strange in numbers, will be 162%. It's solid. Is Megavore working on PTS? It does not. It was patched out. Does Cripple Legendary Prefix work on melee weapon? It does. And there are perks for melee weapons, so yes, you can spec melee weapon for crippling. Just make sure that your melee weapon is mainly ballistic damage. Not energy weapon, not elemental weapon. The main portion of the damage needs to be ballistic for effective crippling. And scatter shot perk will work too, so you can cripple all limbs with one swing. Just ballistic damage needs to be high. And that concludes the questions. That was a lot, but I answered them hopefully to satisfaction of people asking those questions. And now back in the chat. What did I miss? Some people did love the caravans. Unfortunately, mostly they were not very loved and they're going away. Would it be good to switch to a ghoul before release? You can. You can. They promised some unique interaction for ghouls with Goggins, but I don't know to what extent it will be. I didn't test that. So, is it really a big deal? No, you can play human or ghoul. I play human currently on public test server and it's fine. You don't need to. You can. Like, you can always go back to human. Going back to human is always free. So there is no risk involved. You can try ghoul. Don't like it, then you don't like it. And yes, they are nerfing the Guardian drops. So if you need 4 stars and you are a solo player, farm Guardian for next 2 months as much as you can. Yes, public test server is happening in Ohio. I mean, in-game Ohio. Double experience supposed to be active now. From now on. Until Monday. From now on. It's supposed to start 20 minutes ago, double experience. I don't know yet. I didn't test the raid extensively to see what are the new drops when you complete entire raid. I do plan to test it, maybe on tomorrow's live stream if I will have time. Yeah, I know. I don't know about just farming the snake. Is that allowed? Not allowed? Is it against terms of service or not? It's like it's like edge case scenarios. You are not really hacking the game. You are not doing any particular kind of exploit. You just need a friend that is locked at this snake stage, and your friend need to leave before the snake will be completed, and then you can go on snake again and again and again. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. Probably not. Not what Bethesda wants us to do for sure. But how is it for the terms of service? That they would need to specify. I didn't notice Bethesda saying anything officially about farming snake exclusively. A lot of people is doing that. I didn't hear about anything being banned for it. Doesn't mean they will never do that, but in the same time, is that against any particular rule? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't do that on the for myself as I don't want to risk it, and I don't really need to farm the snake as much to risk anything. I don't see anything in terms and condition that would be against farming snake or farming anything in game. Like you are not really using any type of exploit. I don't see it as exploit. You're just joining on a friend. You don't glitch anything. You don't hack your games. I don't know. Yeah, there is no crossplay, and they said it would be too difficult. I hope they will change their mind at some point. At least cross save if crossplay is too difficult. Kablum shotgun is nice. Is it really worth it? I mean, it's really good, but not the top one. You can have better efficiency with Peppa Shaker for sure. You think they will patch the snake? Maybe, but how will they do that? For tanky build, is it better to have Rejuvenator or Aegis? It is better to have Rejuvenators if it's a full set and you are human and you will maintain your food and water bars full at all times. Aegis always works, so if it's a lazy build, go with Aegis. If you maintain your bars at all times, then go with Rejuvenators, is overall more powerful. Yeah, I agree with you, Gast Lightning. I do not count snake farming as an exploit, but that's my personal opinion. And I'm not at Bethesda. I do not work for Bethesda, so my opinion doesn't really matter in regards to them saying something is okay or not. I don't have any say in that. I can only express my opinion. Rascal saying using brain is an exploit. Oh, Daisy, is that true? Your friend got banned for 72 hours for farming snake with alt for the checkpoint? Oh, so that's the first time I hear about anyone getting banned for that. The fact that you are saying it's 72 hours, they must know that it's not a clear exploit. As for doing clear exploits, they ban permanently. Yeah, I disagree that it should be bannable offense. If anything, up to Bethesda to change the system. Like, that's the system they designed. And one thing they designed terribly is making stage 2 so incredibly difficult. Stage 5 should be the most difficult one, not stage 2. And currently, stage 2 is the most difficult stage, for whatever reason. Stage 2 is the easiest, stage 3 is the second. So, like, that doesn't make sense. Then there is stage 5 is the third in difficulty. Then there is stage 4 because how annoying the mobs getting stuck is not really difficult. It's slow and annoying, stage 4. And lastly, the most difficult one, actually difficult, not only annoying, but difficult, it's stage 2. Much more difficult than any other stage, to be honest. Jesus for you, thank you a lot for donating 5 memberships, and I welcome Stantul, NY Why Not, Free Agent 4, and Dembalak 2. Welcome, and may the shell be with you. Yes, I think I already said Ohio is the public test server right now. The next expansion, the December update, the Burning Springs, the Ohio map expansion, that's what we are currently testing on public test server, including the storyline and all new systems. Stat lock is still not fixed on the public test server. Is Rejuvenator worth it for Blooded? Yes, you can use it. It will be slightly weaker than for full health. It is worth it. It make you even harder like to die. It's almost impossible to die with continuous Stimpack running. I don't know what you mean calculate builds. Yeah, there are people that farm the scoreboard super fast with the snake method because snake gives so much experience and is so easy to kill fast. I myself running the full rate for the farming of the season, so I can do half of the season with the full rate method in 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours over half of the season, and I'm just buying remaining part. Yeah, the stage 2 should be the stage 5. I agree. That's the hardest one. The snake look cool and everything, but it's definitely not a hard one. Everyone is like, oh, finally the snake, so the raid is about over. That's the fastest. Like, what snake take? If you have 4 people that are good, which is usually required to pass stage 2 anyway, then snake takes less than a minute. So that's like just a formal finish of the raid. You just go there, kill the snake real fast, job done. There is actually an easy fix they could do in regards to the snake farming. They could tie it so whoever enters the snake fight and is on stage 5, the snake fight, if they leave, that would kick everyone out from that stage. But that would be annoying if someone get accidentally disconnected. But that would be fixed, preventing anyone from farming this way. What's the non-furious build that's the best? Blooded stuff. Quad Peppa Shaker? Yes, you can use Quad Peppa Shaker. That's really good too. So that's Bulletstorm build. Bulletstorm build or Furious, which is Onslaught. We have 2 options, Bulletstorm or Onslaught, and some weapons can combine both. You can build in Ohio, yes. The Guardian, you will still be able to farm it for experience. That's what they said. Even okay, let me open those patch notes that will address this. What they said about it. Let's go to the patch notes. Why am I discussing that without showing you exactly what they said? I can show you. I'm supposed to show you all the changes that were added after I already did a video on it. All right. Not that. Where is it? There. I opened the wrong patch notes. I was like, what? Cam building? That's not it. Open the old ones. Give me a second. I'm looking for the right part of the patch notes. Let me find the part about the Guardian. Where is that? Oh, Gleaming Depths. Okay, found it. Here we go. Gleaming Depths. So that's the part when they talk about the Guardian. And they introducing a new weekly challenge for Gleaming Depths that can be completed by working through all stages of the raid. Your reward for doing so will be a 4-star legendary cache that contains 4-star legendary item, armor, power armor, melee weapon, ranged weapon. So the 4-star legendary stuff will be dropping from this weekly quest. I didn't yet test how it is inside the raid, and I didn't notice any data miners talking about odds. What they said following that, to go along with this new weekly challenge, we are also redistributing the raid rewards. Redistributing is the important word, so taking them mostly away from stage 1, putting them further in, so that the further you progress in Gleaming Depths, the more enticing the rewards will be, which in this moment, another question, are they gonna ban everyone who's farming the snake as we were discussing before? Or are they gonna allow it, which is even more rewards than farming the turret? Or are they doing something to prevent that from happening? As it clearly looks like they are pushing even more rewards into the snake phase, which can be repeated and farmed way more efficiently than the Guardian. We know this may cause some disruption to your local EN06 farming group, and you can still farm him for experience. But it was never our intention to have one phase of the raiding experience be the source of some of the most coveted rewards in the game. If it was never your intention, why did you put stage 2 on the difficulty level, making it impossible to complete even duo for most people? Stage 1 can be solo. Snake can be solo. Stage 3 can be solo. Stage 4 is easier to solo than do with a team. The only stage that even duo will struggle is stage 2. The stage 3 is relatively difficult solo, as you need to run a lot and it takes a little bit longer, but it's solvable. Stage 2 was solvable at some point when those canisters, they did them farmable inside the Ghoul City, but they took them away. So that's the problem. Like, they need to fix that system. Why there is only one stage in the raid that cannot be solo, and it's stage 2. Why? That doesn't make any sense. I know it's supposed to be team activity, but doesn't make sense. The logic, or as other people say, the math isn't mathing here. If that's your intention, then what's happening there doesn't make any sense. And if you notice, all the updates they did to Gleaming Depths, the main focus was to make stage 2 harder. Each update, the main focus was to make stage 2 harder, make mole miners more responsive, make the stalkers stock better and faster, make the exploding rats focus directly on the drill, don't get distracted. And that was the focus, to make stage 2 harder for duo or solo. It was almost impossible solo on the release, but it was a little bit possible because small miners tend to bug out and start chasing you in the tunnels instead of going after the drill. So it was kind of sometimes possible without canisters. Then there were canisters, but after all the changes, solo you cannot do anything there. So additional changes that they didn't mention originally. Daily ops, the freezing touch now will deal cryo damage, so they changing slightly, not a big change, slight fine tuning. They changing how cryo works. I don't know if how cryo works against players mostly or player cryo versus enemies. Is it affecting action points? I'm guessing they focusing on what cryo will do to us and not much to the enemies. Do the enemies like Scorch's Queen even have action points? Probably not. They fixed this bug already previously, the acceleration of enemies, but they just now are mentioning that. It was fixed in previous patch on the live already, so that is already fixed. That's a good change. That's what I was already mentioning, that the game will remember your level of rats when you log out. What's else important? Yeah. They fixed the Megavore. So if you are Megavore right now, with December patch, you will lose both mutations and you will need to apply one that you actually want. So no more Megavore. They slightly nerfed the bullet shield, removing one rank, so from 30% down to 24%. They fixed the 4-leaf clover for shotguns, so it will be now usable with shotguns, which is good news. They changed the reload speed from Fast Fighter, the perception perk. Now finally we know how it was working. It was not working as it was intended. So it was what it's doing now on live game version. The reload speed from Fast Fighter is equal to 30% of your total movement speed. So for most people is running with 120% movement speed. So 30% out of 120, you have 36% reload speed. So Fast Fighter currently is giving 36% reload speed without even adding the other movement speed perks. And they are changing it to be 50% of bonus movement speed. So bonus movement speed and 50% of it, which is a nerf, as for most people, Fast Fighter will be granting 10% reload speed, and then after you stack extra movement speed, it will go higher, but it's a nerf to Fast Fighter. Live Giver supposedly they fix issue, could die when unequipping this perk card, which is nice, but they still need to fix more. The health bar supposedly fixed. I didn't pay too much attention. It's behaving like health is really weird, and damage and everything is really weird on public test server. So I cannot test that really until they fix new bugs that were introduced. Night Ice is 1 point now. Number Cruncher now applies to dot effects, which is welcome. Dots were underperforming a little bit without Number Cruncher working on them. Deal Scylla, they noticed that it doesn't work with Cryo, and now it will. Oh, they moved the Pip-Boy effects from perks and sorted it better, so it's easier to notice what effects you have. And they increased the rate at which thirst and hunger is restored from Rat Sponge. So they buffing Rat Sponge. By the way, if you don't use Rat Sponge, you are human. It's already really good. With just the usage of regular Rad Away and Rat Sponge equipped, as a human, I can run around in the nuke zone. It's reducing, it says 20% on the card, but it's reducing more. I don't want to complain about it, but the Rad intake is reduced by more than 20%. I will not really be mentioning that in any video. As if they fix it to intended 20%, it will not be so good as it is now. Now it's very useful. Good with Salt. Moved from luck to intelligence. Good or bad, I don't really know yet. I think it's okay. Makes sense. Like good with salt not being under luck by the logic standpoint. Like being able to conserve food is more result of your intelligence than your luck. You don't accidentally conserve food. And the same with curator, being able to use and read magazines more efficiently is intelligence, not luck. So that makes sense. They fixed tightly wound, so that's really cool. As this was annoying. Unequipping, re-equipping for heavy gunner builds, so they fixed that. And bloody mess, they nerf it. What it means in here, fix an issue that would allow this to proc on bleed immune targets, so that's robots. Currently, with my harpoon gun on the live game version, I can blow up robots with bloody mess, and I will not be able to after they fix it, which is a nerf in result. They finally fixing the bug that preventing you from entering power armor until you drop and pick up your fusion cores. So this is good. Secret quest from Muffman Tombs. And I don't know what they mean by that. I need to test around with my dragon. Says, weapons will no longer experience a delay in firing after being reloaded when using effects that increase reload speed. And I don't really know what they meant, as mostly the weapons experience delay in firing because of the fire rate that's coded on this weapon. Like the dragon is coded to be able to fire once per 10 seconds. So it doesn't really matter how fast you reload it. Dragon reloads in less than 10 seconds, but you still need to wait because fire rate is once per 10 seconds. That's how it's coded. The light machine gun full stock mod no longer adds the rifle tag to the weapon, which it shouldn't because it's never a rifle. And that's about it. That's about it. So I only covered here what they added after I did a video. There is way more patch notes. If you are interested, I uploaded this video yesterday, so you can still check it out about all the previous patch notes, including the new systems introduced and so on. I will do a dedicated video later, maybe even today, for new legendary effects that are being added. I just need to quickly test them a little bit if I can one more time. Especially the cool one, not the flat one damage increases. The flat one damage increases are nice, but you know how those work. Like we all know how 50% damage works on the prefix, regardless what's required to achieve it. So that was the patch notes. Back to the chat. Where's the chat? Twitch chat is not showing anything. I don't know if anyone is saying anything on Twitch. Probably not. Like Twitch chat is usually not very active. That's why I'm not looking as much on the Twitch chat. And then sometimes people start typing, and then I take a look on the Twitch chat, and it's like huge conversation out of a sudden. And everyone is saying, I'm not looking on the Twitch chat. I am, but usually there is nothing happening there. So that's why I'm not looking as much as on the YouTube when chat keeps scrolling. On YouTube, chat keeps scrolling. So I'm looking proportionally to the chat activity. There is no other way. I cannot go any other way. If I'd be staring at the, like, basically sometimes very dead Twitch chat, there is no point. I need to look where people are actually discussing stuff. Did I miss anything? I will not be able to even read all the chat back on the YouTube. So if you wanted to say something, say it now. Have I managed to learn all legendary crafting at this point? No, not yet. Even with help of the community and trading legendary mod boxes, no, that's a undertaking to learn the 4-star legendary mods. I have a lot of them learned at this point. Not all my work, unfortunately. I would like to say that it's my heavy hard farming, but it's hard farming of me and a bunch of other people that helped me out. So it's not just me. So this is like so difficult to learn crafting of those legendary mod boxes. We'll be on public test server tomorrow, exploring the map on the live stream. And maybe on the member hangout if you have any particular questions, and I can take a look on those legendary mod boxes, but mainly I need to do on the member hangouts the daily first. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you for letting me know, Zeridan. So Zeridan is saying that Hydra, so that's one of the developers working on the game, finally acknowledged the stat log bug and they are working on a fix. And that's supposed to include, marsupial and mutation issues as well. So they are working on a fix. They have a bunch of fixes to work on. Yeah, every new update introduces new bugs. That's how spaghetti code work. And then they try to tackle some of them down. And it's a lottery. Which ones will they be able to patch? If there's gonna be a patch one day that they patch every bug and it will be running smoothly, I will not know what to say, as that never happened before. Is it hard to get Ranger mod boxes? They all equal. There is no hard and easy mod boxes. They all equal. Okay, there are easy ones that come from named legendary weapons, as you can scrap named legendary weapons to get them, but every other one is the same. It's easy if you trade with someone. If you can craft something good, like 50 boxes of, let's say, pinpointers, and then you go and you say that you want to trade them for 50 boxes of Rangers, you will find someone to do that. You can test legendary mod boxes on public test server by going to the custom world and changing the setting for free crafting. That's how you test it. Oh, it's in the perks feedback channel. Okay, nice. I'm not able to read everything, but I'm checking especially the back sections from time to time. Milestone chat. Okay, so I'm scrolling to find your chat, Jeremy. Where was it? Oh, there. Jeremy with member chat was saying, looking forward to the new update. Happy Furlough Friday to all my fellow feds. I found it. Thank you for a reminder, Jeremy. Happy Friday to you and your friends. Updated shotgun build. I don't have any shotgun build yet, so I need to do it if I don't. I need to check which one I already did and which one I'm waiting. I'm currently on the launcher build. I rarely use music instruments and other cam buffs that have animation because I don't want to spend time on it. The AP buff, AP regen buff, I just don't need because I pop a company tea. I drink company tea once per hour and there is no animation with that, and I have all the AP regen I need. That's the hack. You just use company tea. That's generated in the tea machine at your camp. So then you don't need well-tuned or any other AP buffs. The craftable Furious weapon that you can craft for scrapping? Yes, it is. I think it's the Gauntlet from Settlers. One of the, what's the name? I don't remember which one. What's the name on it? But that's the Gauntlet, the melee weapon that's Furious. Are you going to make Ghoul build to go with the new hand cannon? Most likely. The hand cannon is cool. It needs a little bit of a work, I think, still. Hopefully they can fine-tune it. Currently, it seems like it's performing really well, but that's because of the damage bug. When they fix the bug, I'm afraid it will be underperforming. So hopefully they will buff it. I was using it a little bit on public test server. So me using it, or maybe someone else, I don't know if anyone did the video about it, about the weapon. I want to do a video about this weapon, but I would like to do it after they fix the damage bug, because now if I show it, everyone will be like, wow, this new weapon is so amazing and powerful, but public test server is a little bit broken now, and every weapon is amazing and powerful, way too powerful, and gives you a god mode, basically. They didn't. Oh, I didn't test two-shot yet, but I don't think they fixed it. By the quick look on the damage numbers, it looks like they didn't. Ned is absolutely worth it for the Blooded build. It's 80% damage bonus. Company T not good enough for you? Why is that? I ran with it and I never have any problem with AP. The AP buffs do not cancel each other out, but it depends what the buff is. If it's the same buff, if you have two different food items, drink and food is one category, by the way. So if it's a company tea or food that gives AP regen, like this, what was that? There was some, I don't remember what, but maybe soup, like corn soup. If you try to stack those, they will not, because this is the same category. They both food AP regen buffs, so you cannot. The stacking needs to be done with different sources. So you can stack food with alcohol and chem, but you cannot stack food with drink, because that's one category, that's all under food. And Cry Weapon is in the game because it's cool and slows down enemies. It's not for damage, it's for the slow. I don't know anything about roaming responder vendor. It supposedly exists. It's rare. Yeah, I could do a showcase of the Ghoul gun, but I would need to mention like several times that the damage is not the actual damage because it's broken. And I don't want to give anyone a false impression, like overhype it and show like it's actually intended when it's clearly not. Yes, Action Boy Girl works with AP regen for the Ghoul. You can have both. Yeah, Rejuvenators is broken too on the public test server, especially on the Blooded build. So I enter public test server with Rejuvenator's power armor and my 50 cal, and suddenly I was taking 0 damage, or I was taking damage for a split second as my health was jumping straight back. And I was doing so much damage that everything was dying just from the ricochet. I didn't even need to shoot them. They shoot me and they died. I don't know if they ever introduce 5 stars. Alright, that will be everything for this episode of the Turtlecast, as we need to go for a member hangout now to do my dailies. And members will help me, so that's the point. You pay me to then help me do my dailies. I think it's a very fair deal, so let's do that now. And everyone else, see you tomorrow. We'll be exploring the new map. The new map, exploration, but no quests, no story. Just exploration, how cool it looks like, and new events. And that being said, see you there tomorrow, everyone. Bye. Take care.